Kiki Mazzucchelli. I have curated the solo projects this year with Tanya and I'm going to introduce the members of our panel today. The title of the panel is Focus Latin America, Forthcoming Latin American Exhibitions in London, Part 1. We're going to have Part 2 starting at 6 p.m. And well, the idea to organize this panel with for Pinta this year is that there was a great coincidence of having some amazing exhibitions of Latin American art in some of the most renowned institutions in London this year. And we're very happy that you all accepted our invitation to come and talk here today. And so today we have Tanya Barson from TATE Modern, who is curating an exhibition on Brazilian artist Mira Schendel. It's a full-scale survey that opens in September the 25th. September the 25th. Luiza Teixeira de Freitas, who's an independent curator, and is curating an exhibition of Damian and Ortega at the FREUD Museum, which opens tomorrow. Sorry. And Hans-Ulrich Obrist from the SERPENTINE, who's curating an exhibition of Adrian Villar Rojas this fall. And Rosenthal from HAYWARD Gallery, who's curating an exhibition on Mendieta. We had a series of questions that we wanted to ask each speakers before they started their presentations, but because we are running late and we want you to have time to ask questions at the end of the panel, I'm going to ask Tanya to start with this.
I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see, but I've asked them to show some images just rotating while I talk. So there's a number of works that will be in the show, and they're more or less arranged chronologically. So I'm going to try and give a brief introduction to Mira Schendel, which is a little bit of an impossibility because she's such an extraordinary and complex artist, but here goes. Mira Schendel is one of the most outstanding of a very important generation of artists which came to prominence in Brazil during the 1950s and 60s. She was actually born Mira Dagmar Dog in Zurich in 1919 to parents of Jewish heritage. She moved in her early years with her mother to Italy and was brought up by her mother and her Italian stepfather. In the late 1930s, she attended the Catholic University in Milan studying philosophy, but was forced to leave due to the anti-Semitic laws introduced by Mussolini's fascist regime in 1941. At this point, she became a refugee, fleeing through Switzerland and Austria, and then Yugoslavia, where she stayed until 1944. Having married a Croatian, Josip Hargesheimer, she was given papers and returned to Italy, living in Rome and working for the International Refugee Organization. In 1941, Mira and Josip received permission to emigrate to Brazil, and they traveled to Porto Alegre in the south of the country. It was in Brazil that Mira's career as an artist began. She had her first show in Porto Alegre in 1950, and had her work accepted to the first Bienal de São Paulo in 1951, to an open section. In 1953, however, she separated from Josip and she moved to São Paulo, and that's where she remained for the rest of her career and her life. In the 1950s, São Paulo experienced an economic and cultural boom. It was already an important industrial city and one with a diverse immigrant population. Post-war, however, it became a centre for the reception of modernism in South America and experienced an influx of intellectuals from across Europe. In São Paulo, Mira delighted in having access to philosophical texts in the libraries, and she became a part of a circle of intellectuals, which included the Hungarian-born philosopher Villar and the physicist Mario Schoenberg. She also met Knut Schendel, her future husband, whom she married in 1960. Mira's early successes included a solo exhibition of her paintings at the Museum of Modern Art in São Paulo in 1954. Yet she preferred to live and work away from the centre of the city in a suburb, at a distance from its artistic circles, preferring instead to dialogue with just a few artists, such as the Brazilian-Italian Alfredo Volpi, so someone who came from very much the same background as her. In 1964, she began what can be seen as her breakthrough series, drawings on semi-transparent rice paper using a kind of monotype technique. The drawings were made rapidly, and in more or less 1 year she'd made hundreds. And together with the second phase in the early 1970s, these drawings now amount to a total of over 2,000 such works. This swift yet rigorous and intense execution subsequently came to define her mode of production. The monotypes embody Schendel's exploration of concepts of being and nothingness, the void, belief, and philosophical ideas drawn from phenomenology, questions about how we exist in and with the world and how we exist within ourselves, our inner life. The monotypes were also marked by Schendel's use of language, influenced by concrete poetry and structural music, but following her own idiosyncrasy.